Hello again, I'm Ollie Kenchington, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can use a specific technique known as three-point editing. What three-point editing allows you to do is it allows you to place a cutaway down and get it right first time. So really this is getting into a position where as an editor you're able to act as quickly as you can think, or edit as quickly as you can feel the rhythm of the story that you're trying to tell. You can use an in and an out point on your timeline simply by pressing I and O to choose where your cutaway is going to go, where it's going to start and where it's going to end. You can then use either an in or an out in the browser or in your source window. And that third point determines where the clip starts or stops as it comes down. In Final Cut Pro 10, if you press Q, it will do a forward three-point edit. If you press Shift Q, that tells it to use the out point and do a back-timed three-point edit. Whereas in Premiere, you just need to make sure there's no in to do a back-timed three-point edit or no out to do a standard three-point edit. With cutaways, jumping away and cutting away to something else is a visual distraction. If you have a cutaway starting or stopping on a word or halfway through a word in an interview, and even worse if it's happening on a harsh sound within an interview, so a p sound or a k sound, you can make people feel like the cut is much worse. Whereas if you look for these natural pauses that are placed when people converse, and then cut away, normally about halfway through the pause or maybe slightly to one side or the other of it, it feels more natural. It's not distracting, it's not timed to something else that's potentially distracting, and so your audience won't notice it. They'll forgive it and they will carry on being engaged in the narrative that you are presenting to them.
At some point in the musical process, whether it's a producer or a photographer, or you're going to have to collaborate with someone. That's what music's all about.
If you think about you and I, we do a very similar thing.
And I think that's unusual, that. And I think where we get the most out of our relationship is where we bring things in and surprise one another.
That moment where you listen to something and kind of go, oh, I wouldn't have done that.
Yes.
How did you do that?
That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's why I think collaboration's so important. And it's funny that not only from a songwriting point of view, musically as well, when we sit and listen to mixes, when we sit and listen to people who produce our songs, or even people who mix our theatre show, I would say the same thing as you.
Yeah.
You would spot it as I would spot
That's right.
it.
I mean, if you think about how we...
So you're essentially able to use just in and out points to determine what part of the clip you're going to see, where it's going to go, the location of it in the edit, and how long it's going to last, rather than setting no in or out points, dragging the whole clip down based on what you thought was good before you had anything else to compare it to, then realising, oh, it's too long or it's too short, and then trimming it on the timeline. It's doing all of that for you in one go. It's much more efficient.